Peace, family. Hey, did you know processed polysaccharide sugars was actually labeled as a drug and a neurotoxin? Yes. Processed sugar, the sugar that you eat in your candy bars, the sugar that you eat in your bread, the sugar that you eat inside of your cereal, the sugar that's in all your artificial sweeteners, the sugars that's in your chocolates, the sugar that's in your hot cocoa, the sugar that's in your milk, that's in your cigarettes, the sugar that's in your liquor, your alcohol, your wines. This sugar is actually labeled as a neurotoxic drug. Did you know this sugar has been banned from Singapore? Inside of East Asia, Southeast Asia, they banned this sugar. Did you know this sugar has been banned from South Mexico because of what it's doing to the people? Now, I want y'all to understand something. Over 18.2 million people each year are diagnosed with diabetes 1 and 2. Over 88 million people have been diagnosed in the United States of America and is walking around with diabetes right now. Now, that is very, 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 very interesting because it is directly connected to this drug or this created neurotoxin, this processed sugar called sugar. Now, don't get it twisted. When I say sugar, I am not talking about holistic sugar that Yahweh created. I'm not talking about sugar, fructose that you find inside of fruits. I'm not talking about sugar, glucose that you find inside of vegetables that haven't been sprayed with pesticides on them. I'm talking about literally chemically made processed sugars. It's killing us, family, and it's a neurotoxin. Now, let's talk about diabetes. Diabetes is a pancreatic weakness. Now, what is the pancreas? The pancreas is one of your major digestive organs, family. It's one of your major digestive organs. It does over 15 things, but we can get into that in another video. I want to talk about what it specifically do and its relationship with diabetes. So the pancreas has something inside the medulla of it, the inner medulla of the cells or of the tissue called the islets of Langerhans. The islets of Langerhans. Inside of the islets of Langerhans, it produces 3 major cells. The first cells are called the alpha cells. These alpha cells produce and secrete a sugar called glucagon, right? Then you have the second cells, which is called the beta cells. These beta cells produce and secrete something called insulin. The third one is called delta cells. All of these are happening inside the pancreas. These produces something called somatostatin. Now, glucagon is a sugar. It raises the sugar blood. See that? Insulin is a salt hormone. It brings down the sugar in the blood. Somatostatin is created of them both and is connected to a growth hormone. Yes, a growth hormone, meaning that if you are having growth problems, something is wrong with your pancreas. It is a growth hormone plus glucagon and plus insulin and plus the growth hormone that's connected directly to the pituitary gland. So people with diabetes have pituitary problems. Now, whenever you're dealing with any organ, you're dealing with cells, right? Cells make up organs like the pancreas, and these organs make up systems, and the system creates the body. Well, whenever you're dealing with any cell, you're always dealing with what? A cell and 2 major fluids in a nervous system. Well, inside the pancreas, guess what the pancreas is made of? The pancreas is made of trillions of cells. Not only is it made up of trillions of cells, it's made up of blood, which is one of the major fluids, and lymphatic fluid, which is the other major fluid. 25% blood, 75% lymph, and inside of each of these cells, you have nerve endings. These nerve endings are connected to the autonomic nervous system, or what you call the melanin neurotransmitters. But remember, sugar is a neurotoxin. So, remember, the lymphatic system is what commands the cells and tells the cells what to do. So if you go to the store and you want to chow down on a candy bar, well, the nerves inside of the pancreas is going to tell the glucagon to raise the sugar in the blood. Well, by default, the body have to maintain a homeostasis balance of alkalinity. So by default, the cells then tell the beta cells to produce the salt hormone insulin to bring down the sugar. See that? So what happens is it play a teeter-totter game because you never want to change your diet and you're addicted to these addictive neurotransmitters. These neurotoxins called sugars and salts. So you keep taking it and your pancreas does this all day. Finally, the pancreas become weakened and the cells and the nerves inside of the pancreas completely shut down. Now you're not producing any more insulin and the sugar is constantly rising. Then they say you are diabetic. Now, what does this neurotoxin does? It dries out the nerve system. Is very corrosive because it breaks down into acid. Not only does it break down into acid, but look, but it dehydrates you. Not only does it dehydrate you, it pulls water from everywhere to try to actually turn it back into fructose or glucose. See, the body is amazing. If you eat a dried raisin right now, the body is going to pull all of the water from every cell in your body and try to turn it back into a grape. That's the same thing that's going on with these complex polysaccharides they call sugars. That is a drug that have been banned from 2 countries and have been classified as a neurotoxin. Now, why I keep saying neurotoxin? Because it literally it's a poison to your neurological system. It's a poison to your nervous system. That's the reason why the pancreas is weak and not working, because the adrenal glands is not working. The adrenal glands is in control of the autonomic nervous system. Not only that, the adrenal glands is in control of all your salt hormones and steroids, meaning that how the pancreas is working is by the adrenal glands in the first place, because the adrenal glands produces something called cortisol. The cortisol literally tells the salt what to do and tells the sugar what to do in your body. But the autonomic nervous system has been shut down because it's been chewed on and been corroded and been ate on by sugars. Now check this out. When you get into the autonomic nervous system, what is the main prefix of autonomic nervous system? Auto, which means it runs automatically, like your breathing. I don't have to focus on breathing. My autonomic nervous system does that through melanin neurotransmitters. Again, my eyes blinking. I don't have to focus on blinking. My eyes blink automatically due to my parasympathetic and my sympathetic nervous system that's controlled by my autonomic nervous system that's controlled by my adrenal glands, my digestive system, my heartbeat, all of these, and also the nerves inside my pancreas that raises my blood sugar or that's going to produce the beta cell insulin that lowers my blood sugar. All of this is controlled by the nerves and the glands of your body. The sugar literally attacks the intricate system and it eats up the autonomic nervous system because it's a poison, and it's not only a poison, but it's a mucus forming acid fake food. That's why you got diabetes. Now, once you're done with diabetes and you go get diagnosed, they put you on insulin. Now, guess what insulin is? Insulin, this is a synthetic insulin that's not produced by the body, which means it's a fake salt anyway. So what the salt's going to do? The salt is going to pull all the water from your body as well. Notice what salt do it to a snail. It literally shrinks the snail, and it dehydrates the snail to death. So now you got high blood sugar and you got salt that's dehydrating your body. And that's the reason why people are on insulin with diabetes. They're still getting their foot cut off. They're still getting their fingers and their toes cut off and all types of things, because the sugar is too prominent in the blood. Now, since it's too prominent in the blood, it is literally mixing with the oxygen molecule and the iron phosphate molecule in the blood. So now it messes up the circulation. So now, since there's no oxygen in circulation in the blood in these particular locations of the body, the cells begin to die and the tissues begin to rot. Now, when you're looking at the rotten tissue, notice what else you see. You see fermentation, because what sugar do? It ferments. If you leave grapes out, guess what the grapes are going to turn to? Wine, because it ferments. Fermentation is where you get what from? Toenail fungus, your funguses, your yeast, and all these other things. And most people that are diabetics, all you have to do is look at their feet and their toes and you will see that. That is putrefied fermented sugars in the blood that don't have any circulation or oxygen coming through to move them out, and literally things die off. Now notice the correlation between sugar and love with the black community. See that? Your grandma call you what? Sugar. Your grandma call you what? Honey bun. You call your significant other sweetheart. You see that? You go to the store and you reward your children for doing good with drugs called a neurotoxin. You give them candy, sugar. On Valentine's Day, you show that you love your significant other by getting them a teddy bear and what? Sugar. Sugar-coated strawberries called chocolate. You see that? These sugars are killing us, family. They're killing us. They're killing our autonomic nervous system. They're keeping us in prison to our bodies, and they're jacking up our pancreas. You didn't know you was addicted, did you? Yes, you are. And this is the reason why diabetes is the number one cause of blindness. The sugars literally dry out the nerve endings in the optic lobe. Now you got blindness. This is why it's the number one cause of MS, of rheumatoid arthritis. The sugars get between the muscle tissues and literally eats at the nerves of the muscles. These sugars literally bind themselves to proteins and get inside the joints and create arthritis, because arthritis is nothing but metabolic waste inside the joints. This is the reason why it causes your lupus, your Garrison disease, your vertigo disease, all of your pituitary diseases. Diabetes is basically a weakened pancreas that kills the nervous system, all by melanin neurotoxin drugs called sugars. Now, not simple sugars, but polysaccharides. So we have to kick the addiction. We got to, family. Shalom.